Before we get into today's episode, let me ask you something. Do you know what your current level of English really is? Understanding your level is crucial to tracking your progress and ensuring your hard work is paying off. That's why I've created a quick and easy English level test that you can take right now for free. Find out your level instantly. Just head to thebritishenglishpodcast.com/testme or check the link in the show notes. Hello and welcome to the British English Podcast with me, your host, Charlie Baxter. And today's episode, like many, is all about culture, specifically British culture. And of course, we will be finding plenty of British English phrases along the way. The cultural aspect I thought of today would be to dive into the relationship between a British mother and a British son. And I was thinking, who am I most interested in? And then it dawned on me, I'm most interested in me. And, of course, my mother. So, I invite you to take a listen to a conversation between me and my mum, or my mummy. Mummy. Hello, mummy. How are you?
Hello, Charlie. I'm fine, thank you.
So, first things first, the word mummy, Americans with that pronunciation think of a scary mummified Egyptian because their pronunciation is mom or mommy, and mummy is a different sound to them. So they think of an Egyptian mummy. And have you noticed my roundabout way? Oh, so I should say also, it's quite sad for a 30-something-year-old person. Well, a teenager finds it very embarrassing to call them their mum, mummy. Mum is the cool version of mummy. And I was always made to look like a geek, a mummy's boy. That's literally it, isn't it? A mummy's boy. And you forced that on me the whole way through my childhood and my adulthood. But now I embrace it a bit more, although I still find it weird. Why did you want that? Why did you want me to call you mummy?
I always called my mummy, mummy.
Right.
And I couldn't have said mum. It didn't sound right. So it's just not right.
It's just not right. So all of the Mother's Day cards, they all say Happy Mother's Day, Mum, or Dear Mum in the bit.
I don't like those ones.
You rip them up, don't you? You put them in the shredder. Say, try again.
You need to write an extra couple of letters.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's true. I could have done that.
Oh, revelation time.
But
you still can.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you today? You doing okay?
I'm doing okay. Yep.
What have you been doing?
I had a client earlier on, and then I was looking forward to seeing you today.
Oh, good. Yes, thank you. So a client, what form of profession do you do? Obviously, I know, but...
I hope you know.
That'd be a shame, wouldn't it? Call you mum and I don't know what your job is.
I work as a counsellor and a play therapist.
Have you ever wondered if you're making real progress in your English learning journey? Knowing your level is the key to recognising your improvements. I have a fantastic tool for you, a free English level test that gives you an instant result. Take a few minutes now to discover your level and continue your learning journey with confidence. Visit thebritishenglishpodcast.com/testme or click the link in the show notes to find out your level of English today. A counsellor and play therapist. And play therapy, what is that?
Play therapy is a way of helping children to express themselves, not necessarily just through words, but through creative arts as well. But this was a teenager, so it was more talking therapy.
This session right now,
yeah.
But play therapy, yeah. And you use what kind of play? What kind of ways do they use play?
It depends on the age, but I have a playroom with lots of different forms of play. I have sand trays with lots and lots of different miniatures, and they can create their own little worlds in the sand. I have puppets, I have musical instruments, I have art, I have board games, stories, all sorts of things.
And you did a master's sand play or sand play therapy. Now, how would you say?
I did a master's and I chose to study sand play.
Sand play, okay. And so that is a sand pit, like a metre wide?
Yes, it's like a tray and it's painted blue on the bottom.
Okay, to represent water?
Water.
Yes, when you dig.
Yeah, when you pull the sand back, you can see the water and you can create rivers or...
And that you give to children and then they display their emotions through...
They can choose miniatures from the shelves which they're attracted to or they're scared of or repelled by. And then it's the way that they relate to those in the sand tray. Yeah. They can make up stories and it can involve scary things or other things that they like and they can respond to it as they want to.
Because as I've started to appreciate as an uncle, that children have all the emotions, but they just don't know how to voice it. They don't have the vocabulary or the awareness of what vocabulary goes with that emotion.
That's right.
So it's silly for an adult to speak to a child in the way that I would assume I could speak to an adult with, like, okay, just tell me how you're feeling. And then that's embarrassing for them because they don't know how they are feeling, or they don't know what to say to represent their feeling.
That's right. When they're overwhelmed with emotion, they can't access their thoughts.
Right.
So they can't find the words. Even if they could normally find the words, they can't when they're in that state. And they often remove
themselves, meaning...
Like they storm off. You may have noticed with your nephews that if things are getting too much, they'll take themselves off.
Right, okay. Well, I just went swimming with them and it was a lot of fun. But I did take one of them off to do a wee and we were in the toilet and he had done it, but he didn't want to flush the toilet. I said, flush the toilet. And he said, you flush the toilet. And I said, I don't want to get this wrong, Barney or Toby. I'm so sorry. I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, one of the two, we had a standoff for about 3 minutes, I'd say. Of saying me rationally trying to explain why he should be the one to flush it rather than me. And I think if I was a parent, I'd be wise to what battles you should try to win and what not to win. I should have probably just flushed it. But being a fresh uncle, I was determined to win the battle. But
you'll learn.
Yeah, I will learn. Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, so you had a client today. And your husband, my father, Nigel, was he doing much today?
He was sitting on the sofa.
He was sitting on the sofa, yes.
And then he did go down to the village.
Okay. Walk?
No, in the car.
In the car, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so we're here to talk about your mothering of a little child. And then, I guess, as I grew up, I sent you some questions and you had a little look at them. But we can go through them and you can respond and we can pass through any that don't really tickle your fancy, to tickle your fancy, to like something. Yeah. So the first part of these questions is called childhood shenanigans. Shenanigans, how would you describe that?
Goings on.
Goings on. Yeah. Shenanigans. So the first question is, did I cry a lot when I was a baby? And were there any particular reasons or funny stories behind the tears? Was I an annoying baby?
You were a lovely baby. Of course you were.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Was I?
Yes. But you did cry, especially in the car when the car stopped. So I couldn't stop at traffic lights.
Did you ever get a ticket?
No. I went very fast.
You couldn't stop for the police either. No. I'd cry.
No, I would have to stop, but it was not very nice stopping. And also a hernia as a little baby, which meant that your umbilical... umbilical...
I would say umbilical. What do you say?
Umbilical.
I've never heard that other
No,
one.
I don't think that's right.
And that's fine. Okay, so I would say umbilical.
But you didn't have it anyway because it had gone.
Didn't have it. Yeah, my cordless tummy.
Your tummy button.
Tummy button, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah.
It wasn't completely closed. And so if you cried, it would protrude.
It would protrude.
Yes.
Oh, that's gross.
So I didn't like you crying very much. So I didn't like stopping at traffic lights.
So the whole time I was a baby, my belly button would pop out whenever I cried.
Well, from a few months old. Yeah. And then you had it operated on when you were 11 months.
So from the age of 3 months to 11 months, I had this popping out belly button.
Only when you screamed.
And I screamed every red light.
We had to take the back route.
Oh, that's gross. Did you get grossed out by it?
No.
No.
I just hoped it was going to close up by itself, and it didn't.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So yeah, I cried a lot.
So you cried a lot. Only when movement stopped. You like to be moved around.
Yeah. Did I hear you say that I used to always like to be held?
Yes.
Like if you put me down, then I would start crying as well.
Probably, yes. But you did have lots of people that carried you around and held you because you had two little sisters.
Two older sisters that were still little.
Yeah, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they liked holding you.
Yeah, a 5-year-old sister. That's probably quite useful.
It was.
Yeah.
Ish.
Oh, no?
She couldn't carry you round, but she could sit with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose Izzy, my niece, your grandchild, is that age right now, isn't she?
She's 6.
She's 6, yeah.
6.5.
Oh, 6.5, right. Time flies when you're an uncle. Okay, the next question was, what was the silliest thing I ever got upset about as a kid?
I remember you coming back from nursery school being very upset.
Oh, yes. Friday nursery. I hated Friday nursery.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of that.
Oh,
I was
right.
thinking of first steps.
First steps. So that was the okay. Yes, you're gonna okay.
Ross had bigger trainers than you.
He didn't just have bigger trainers.
He also had bigger feet than you.
Yeah.
But his father was a policeman.
What does that mean?
Policemen are supposed to have big feet for walking the beat.
Oh, for walking the beat. I mean, I understand that, but we've got to get with the times. Imagine that. Imagine somebody like myself wanting to go into the police force, and I pass all the criteria, and then they look down at my feet, say, "Sorry, son."
You'd have to have clown shoes.
Yeah. Oh, I suppose that would work, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Unless you trip over them.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. No, so a Friday nursery. So
Friday
you went
nursery you didn't like. That was when I was doing my counselling training.
Yes, I remember.
And it was
that.
one day a week. And you didn't like it. You enjoyed it when I picked you up. You said you'd had a good time.
Yeah.
But every time we got closer to Friday, I don't want to go to nursery. I don't like it.
Yeah, that must have been fun.
And I even tried recording you saying you'd had a good time to replay it to you.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
But still, no.
No. What kind of technology were you using to record my voice then?
A tape recorder.
A tape recorder. Okay.
Didn't have a phone.
No. Well, you had a home phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anchored to the spot.
Yes. But a huge cable.
Yes.
A curly...
Yeah.
What would you call it?
Cord.
But it was coiled.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that you could stretch it.
Yeah. I remember speaking to my first girlfriend on that for hours. Yeah. Oh. Is that inappropriate for you? We're not there yet. We're only a kid. Okay.
Yep.
So I got upset when I went to nursery. Yes, I did. I didn't enjoy the idea of it, but when I was there, I did enjoy it. Can you remember any funny or odd habits I had as a child? Not now.
You used to like your bottle.
Oh, do you remember when I was, what age was I when I came to you and I said, I had a revelation, didn't I? I realised why I'm not happy in life.
Yeah, because something was missing.
Something was missing. And what was that?
And you worked out that it was your bottle.
My milk bottle.
Well, you used to have milk and then you progressed on to water. And then you only gave up your water bottle around Christmas time.
Right.
Because you wanted big boy toys.
What, did you bribe me? You said, if you want big boy toys...
I said, Father Christmas is going to get confused if there's a bottle.
Oh, you got me. Yeah.
Because you were about 4 at the time.
That's normal age, guys. What is the normal age to give up a bottle in the UK, do you think?
Probably 2 or 3.
2 or 3? Were you worried?
No.
No. But I had cow's milk. I
Yes.
wasn't having your milk at the age of 3 or 4.
No.
No. But some cultures, they
Yeah.
go on and on.
They do.
Yeah. So typically, when do people breastfeed until in the UK? I mean, it varies, I suppose.
It varies, but ideally do breastfeed for a year or so.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say 6 months.
Yeah, you only breastfed for 6 months.
6 to 12 months, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah, between that. And then babies go on to formula.
Or cow's milk.
Or straight to cow's milk.
Yeah. They used to say you could have cow's milk from 6 months, and then they've changed it. Now it's later.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So I had a bottle and I missed that dearly when you took it away from me. And I realised when I was a teenager.
I think you're a bit younger than a teenager.
I'm pretty sure I was trying to be funny.
I don't think you were.
I think I remember knowing this is ridiculous. So I wasn't expecting you to get me a bloody bottle.
No, I wasn't going to get you one either.
Because I wanted big boy toys. Okay. Do you also remember, this was when I remember I was playing squash at the time. You picked me out. No, pulled me up on it. You pulled me up on it. This habit of doing a weird facial expression that we call gurning. And gurning is often related to people who are intoxicated with various narcotics. Where it means moving the jaw from side to side. And I did that as a kid.
You did it for a little while, yes.
Yeah, just for a little bit. But it was quite strange. And I remember you watched me playing squash.
I think
and
it was your
like,
concentration.
Yeah, I was like, like, why are you doing that, darling? And I think I just felt like it was satisfying.
And I wonder if you did it to direct the ball.
Right, it's going left. That's right. And then down the middle would just be normal. Yeah. Okay. What's the most amusing mess I have ever gotten myself into, literally or figuratively? This is the last question for Childhood Shenanigans Part 1, which is actually quite good because we're at the 20-minute mark. Yeah.
It wasn't really amusing, but you were having fun on the trampoline.
Oh.
And we didn't have cushions around it. Unfortunately, I was out in the garden and you were trying to do somersaults and things. And suddenly I looked over there. I think I must have heard a strange noise, and I went over and you'd got your head down the side of the trampoline and your legs had flipped over and you were immobilized, held by your neck.
What was trapped? I know, but I want you to tell me.
Well, I think it was your head was facing out and your legs were flipped over the top.
Yes. I was like bent over, kind of. Yeah. But what was stopping me from getting out?
Well, your head was trapped.
My head was trapped, but the springs, I remember this, the springs had caught my air. My air. That reminds me of when you said to me, Charlie, did you know, guess how Americans pronounce herb? We say herbs or herb. They say herb without the H, with the, herbs and spices. So I just mispronounced hair. Yes. Voiced sound. Hair. My hair got caught in the springs. Yeah. Why were there no covers?
Because we couldn't find any that would fit. I had some, but they all got waterlogged.
Oh.
And then couldn't find any replacement ones. So you weren't supposed to go on it unless I was with you.
Oh, I see. Waterlogged. Water damage? Damaged by water damage? Can you say waterlogged? I always think of like floor.
The water had got seeped in through the stitching of the cushions and they were all heavy.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Waterlogged. Yeah. By the way, I'm never like accusing. I'm just learning. Like
you're my son.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I always bow down to you, and that's a big bow. My mother is 5'2", and I thought it was that reason why I wasn't very. I always felt like a skinny little boy, and I thought I'm just a small person because I have from a small family. But my dad's 6'4", so the average should have been fairly tall.
I was a bit worried, though, that I would get 2 very tall daughters and one tiny son.
Oh, right.
But I didn't.
You didn't? No,
No.
okay. But yeah, then I realised recently that the portion sizes was something to do with it. Because I came home after years of living abroad, and then as an adult came back and you served me up some food, and I think you had served me up a portion size that was the average size when I was a child, and it was tiny, absolutely tiny. So you starved me as a child without my knowledge. You
actually didn't have that big an appetite then because you were little.
I was little, but I think it's all about training the child into what they can consume.
I didn't encourage you to overeat.
Well, certainly not. And you have a thing where you always leave one pea or like one little tiny piece.
If I'm full, I'll leave a little bit.
Yeah, that's really good because you listen to your stomach. But as children, we used to rip the hell out of you for that, didn't we? Or not rip you, but we would just like really get annoyed by it.
Or make fun of me.
Or make fun of you. Yeah, well, rip. Yeah. Did you get annoyed by that?
No.
No. Like like water off a duck's back, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Yeah. Quack, quack. Okay, so the trampoline.
Other things that you did have a tendency to find a way of getting head injuries as a child.
Yes, I did.
There were several situations. Once was after a party. Everybody had just gone home for, I can't remember whether it was Laura or Holly's party, and we had the drinks cabinet open, and you ran through the sitting room and smashed your head into it.
And I'm looking at the very piece of furniture still.
I keep it closed when you come round now.
And not for my alcohol addiction. It's remarkable how long furniture lasts and how long your generation keeps furniture.
If it ain't broke, we don't fix it.
Very good. Yeah. I guess that's to do with the whole commercial thing nowadays. But yeah, that seems like it hasn't really aged, that mantelpiece.
You've changed more than that.
I hope so. Otherwise I'd be a bloody boring person. I haven't moved much. It's just moved down the road, isn't it?
That's right. We moved down the road and we carried the climbing frame with us.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember the removal van?
Yes. The door swang open and crashed into our car, our parked car.
We were going down the road from here and we realised that the door was not closed properly. We were trying to call the drivers, but they couldn't hear us. And we were all worried that it was going to swing and bang, bang, bang the cars all the way down the road. But fortunately, it missed all the cars in the road and it only swung open when we stopped at our old house. And that's when it coincided with our blue car.
Yeah, a Vauxhall.
Cavalier.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that banger. Was it a banger then?
No.
Was it a nice car then?
We had it when it was 18 months old.
No.
So it was one of Daddy's ex-company cars.
He was a teacher. How did he get a company car?
Not your...
Oh, your daddy?
My daddy.
Ah.
NSS.
NSS. That's the newsagents that he was part of. NSS. Is that still around?
I think so.
You probably didn't hear that, guys, but we heard a very audible yawn from the room next door, and that was my father. Does he often do that?
He has been known.
He retired within the last 6 years now. 6 years. Have you gotten used to life with your husband retired? Because you work from home.
I do.
And I relate to this now because my partner, she just started a job. You probably know my partner, right?
I have met her. She's my daughter-in-law.
Yes, she is. You married us.
I did.
Yeah, that was so nice. She's just started her own company, and she's now working from home with me as well. So we're now both under the same roof pretty much 24/7, which is...
Whereas you used to have the place to yourself.
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah. And that's similar to you.
Although Daddy does go out to play golf.
I love how that was a dig within a dig almost. Yeah. But don't you want him to go out to have a bit of space.
Yes, I'm very happy for him to go out.
But I remember you used to get annoyed that he would go and play golf. But you do get annoyed that... So you get annoyed that he leaves, but you are happy that he leaves. He can't win, can he?
He can't win, no.
Would you like it if he did more like grandfather duties and did golf?
Yes.
Yes.
He tends to disappear when the grandchildren come round.
I think I might be the same. I was quite proud of myself to go swimming today, but that was
impressive.
fun.
Yep.
Yeah, with the nephews and niece, not just me swimming on my own. Okay, shall we go on to part 2 now?
Yes.
Family traditions and quirks. So what's a family tradition we have that always makes us laugh? It's not really a tradition, but I always remember my father, your husband, always mishearing words.
He still does. In fact, he mishears more now.
Oh, really? But does he do it in a comical way where he references something very confidently that was not the thing that he should have heard?
No, not like the slippers.
Yes. So we were going on holiday. It's not even funny to other people, but we were in the airport and we were all talking about what we brought. We were quite young. Inexcusable for you. You're an adult. But we were sharing what was in our suitcase. Oh, God, what a dead chat. But we all said, have you got your slippers? Have you got your slippers? Yes. And he says, what, flippers? Yes, I brought my flippers. Or he forgot his flippers.
No, he'd forgotten his driving licence.
Oh, yeah. That was a drama in itself. But yes, he would always mishear words, normal words, and create a very random word out of it.
Yeah.
Any other traditions? I mean, there's quite a lot of food traditions.
Birthdays were always a tradition.
Yes.
And you always looked forward to your birthdays.
Yes.
And I remember one birthday where you were very, very excited because you were going to get some drums, a drum kit.
A drum kit.
And your birthday was on Monday. And this was Sunday, the day before your birthday. And for some reason, you managed to persuade me.
I was very manipulative with that, wasn't I?
You were. You said it would be a good idea if you spent the time today setting up your drums because you would have to go to school tomorrow. And you wouldn't have that much time to play with your drums. And I don't know why I agreed, but I did. And then you set them all up and you enjoyed that. But the next day you came to me and you said you were feeling really sad and disappointed because there was nothing exciting.
And this was the most expensive birthday present I had ever received.
And that you will ever receive.
It's a good learning, though, to realise that it's not about the expense or the size of the present. It's about building up the excitement of that day.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an amazing present and I used them for years.
And that was the thing. Normally you had lots of presents, but they were smaller presents. So you had one big present.
Oh, yes, that's true. So I had nothing to open.
No.
And so I was a very, very spoilt child that was very sad.
Yeah.
Like, I've got nothing to open on my birthday. And also, I was a beginner at drums, so it actually wasn't that fun. Like, exciting drums, but da-dung-dung.
Yes.
Can't really.
You didn't play that well.
No. We will be leaving the free version of this episode here for today. But if you did want to continue listening to this conversation, then head over to the BritishEnglishPodcast.com where you can sign up to the Premium Podcast or the Academy. The Premium Podcast gives you the ad-free version with transcripts, a full glossary and flashcards, whereas the Academy gives you all of that plus a whole lot more, including vocab video lessons, writing assignments, weekly Zoom classes, and you can also get paired with a new speaking partner of a similar level to yours each month to really get your speaking practice in. But if you were just here for the free version of this episode, then I thank you very much. Congratulations for getting to the end of this part, and I hope to see you back here next week for another episode. I've been your host, Charlie, on the British English Podcast. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Before you go, make sure you know where you stand in your English learning journey. I've created a free English level test that you can take right now to find out your exact level. It's quick, easy, and gives you instant results. Head to thebritishenglishpodcast.com/testme or check the link in the show notes. Because tracking your progress helps you stay on track. We can't use track twice, guys. No, let's do that again. Yeah, we don't have time. Oh. All right, we'll just delete this last sentence then.